Cool beans.
Okay.
Beans.
The beans have been cooled. They've been
cooled.
iced.
How do you start a podcast? This is we've been almost doing this for a year. Dude,
yeah, because Jungkook's birthday's coming up, and we recorded our first episode on Jungkook's birthday.
Happy almost birthday, Jungkook!
Yay!
This will no longer be the celebration of us. It'll be a celebration of BTS.
Everything's always BTS related.
It's okay. So, like in the audio podcast, it's BTS. On Twitter, it's Prince. Because I have I don't know how it started, but I can't stop it now. I've now started replying to everything that we're ever tagged in with Prince gifts. So, with my shirt.
It's so cute.
So, since I have that power, I'm like,
That reminds me, I can't wait to see you.
I can't wait to see you.
I was wanting to like go over and be like, I can bring her a giant thing of spaghetti, but when we see each other the next time, I'll bring spaghetti or like lasagna.
Oh, you're so good.
I'll just buy like one of those like still for like family size lasagna thing.
Yes, please. This is all I want.
Yeah,
in the world. We'll do this. Yeah, guys. Oh, hi. Hello. Podcast. This is Tipsy Mysteries.
Welcome to our podcast. We know what we're doing. It's been almost a year. Hello.
We're professionals. Thank you very much.
Define professional, though. Define professional.
Can I go to Urban Dictionary? Can I get a very lenient definition, maybe? I don't know. This is the fun, super awesome explosion time, magical explosion to show podcast.
Sure. Okay.
All of us.
Yeah.
We're your hosts. I'm Kate.
And I'm V.
We're going to tell you about all these cool stories and things and mysteries and paranormal and true crime and cryptid and
everything
conspiracy.
And anything in between the spookiness.
The spookiness.
The spookiness.
Quiet in the... Wait, fuck. I forgot the other one. It was like... Oh, Segoy. Quiet in the streets. Segoy in the sheets. I think I heard that once and it never left. You feel?
I love you.
I love you. Aww. Guys, we haven't seen each other in like a month.
Yeah.
I think what kept happening is school kept like smacking me in the face with all this work. And then my brain short-circuited. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I still don't have a story together.
That
here we
sounds like me. Except I was working and then I took a week off and then I was like depression nap for a week.
God, big mood.
Yeah.
When those depression nap hit.
Yeah.
So this is our first time recording in a bit. So if it sounds like it, that is why.
It's
this episode.
The what?
26. This is episode 26. Okay.
26.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Because I remember last episode, a long month ago, we're like, it's episode 25. So we're halfway to 50. Therefore, halfway to Mothman.
And then our next milestone will be Ted Bundy after Mothman.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes. Side note, guys, I'm house sitting. So there is 2 doggos and a cat that likes to yell. So if you hear all those noises, I'm so sorry.
I'm like... But if you listen to our podcast on the regular, then you already know that there's usually already a dog yelling in the background. But he's sleeping right now.
He doesn't really boof. He goes
well, he doesn't borf anymore because we usually record in my kitchen, which is next to my front door where he can hear people in and out. But now that we're recording remotely, I'm in my bedroom, and so he just sleeps.
He just sleeps.
With
the exception of episode, was it 23? It was something... Oh, Ding Ding Villain Alert and Moo's Revenge.
Yeah.
Because you went pee, and therefore he said, I have to pee now, even though he did not have to pee.
That's right. That's true.
I don't know if you've listened to that one yet, but like I even enhanced the audio for some of those parts for like comedic effect. But even without that, like the whining, I was like, holy fuck, Moo.
Yeah. If I seem like I'm going to leave anywhere, he's like, I must join you.
I must come. Separation anxiety.
And that's on Rescue Dogs.
He's baby. Mm-hmm. He's baby. Oh, I can mix my drink on air.
Do it.
Oh yeah, guys, your boy is 23 now. My birthday was 2 days ago, August 7th. Leo, bitch.
Right. Yeah. Do it. Ooh.
ASMR. Late birthday, quarantinies edition. Yeah. ASMR. I hope you guys never get bored of that because I doubt we'll ever stop doing it.
I know. What are you drinking today?
I last minute panicked while I was like grabbing my stuff to come over here from my house. And I was like, fuck, alcohol. And I was like, wait, I still got this juice from, I think, your birthday weekend.
I don't drink that juice, though.
I got it for a mixer, and then we never ended up using it. Is it expired? Let's find out. You know what? We're fine. We're a few months
We still had a few months ahead, and it wasn't open, so you're good.
So I'm good.
I'm like, actually, reminds me of my last week. Like, not this week that I just worked, but the week after or the week before when I had my vacation. Like, I had Sunday to Sunday off at work.
Ooh, Sunday fun day.
Monday, so like the second day of my vacation, I got food poisoning.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Buddy. How? From where?
Almond milk. From the almond milk that was in my fridge.
That's what that tweet was about? I just thought you got the shits.
No. I made coffee, and I was like, because usually I buy my coffee, and I'm like, oh, I have all this time now. I can just make my own coffee. I'll add some almond milk to it. Didn't really think
have
anything.
A coffee maker, so
exactly. And so I was using my mom's almond milk because I was like, I don't want to buy oat milk. Didn't really think anything of it because I didn't shake it or anything. So I'm like, whatever. It's probably just like a little separated.
Because almond milk will do that sometimes.
Yeah. And so I didn't really think anything of it because like I drown my coffee usually in a lot of sugar. And then I was like, something's off about this. I only took a couple of sips, and I'm like, I looked at the expiration date. We still had like a month out, but I was like, this is weird. So I talked to my mom. I was like, how old is this? And she's like, oh, I opened it like a month ago. But shit. It's fine. Like its expiration date's like in a month. And I'm like,
I think like somewhere else in the package it says like used within like a week of opening or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So this isn't the first time my mother poisoned me with old alternative milks. Because when I was vegan, she did the same thing with coconut milk. And I was like, I poured it, but it was purple or like a blue. And I was like, my pasta's ruined. So
I miss your mom.
I think she's the reason why my brother has like a stomach of steel, because he and his friends will eat the same things. They will have food poisoning, but my brother is completely fine. He can eat anything. He has a stomach of steel.
Shit, dude.
He gets freckles and that stomach. Like, how dare he?
Doesn't he also have like eyelashes too?
Yeah.
Am I misremembering? Yeah.
Yeah, he has good eyelashes. Like, his lips are even thicker than mine, and I'm very upset about that. Yeah.
Rude.
Right? I'm like, he's not even you. Well, never mind. I'm not going down that road. Like, it's wasted on him. I promise.
Oh my God. I have to send you a picture. So for my birthday, it was a fun birthday. Yeah. I did get my family to draw prints from memory.
Ooh.
It was pretty good. There was some good ones. Let me send you these real fast. They were pretty good.
Okay.
And then I got Alex to watch another Prince movie with me called Under the Cherry Moon. He really should have stopped after Purple Rain. Because he made Purple Rain. It got popular because it had a good soundtrack and it had like Prince being all like hot because he's Prince, you know. As you do. And so this comes out and he's like, I am a filmmaker now. No.
As one does.
No. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to make a romantic comedy set in the 30s, all in black and white, but you're never going to know what the tone of the movie is. So the entire time he's like trying to be funny, but it comes off so weird. Like, yeah, I might just have to send you some clips from it.
I feel like he might have been beyond his time. He was beyond his time.
He was beyond his time.
That's it.
Like, there is a lot. He had a lot of good outfits in that movie, though, and a lot of good gifts came out of that movie from just his facial expressions. A lot of sneers.
Ooh.
And by the end of it, he gets spoiler. He gets shot and dies, and then he becomes either God or part of an angel band. The movie was very confusing. It was very confusing.
He was just beyond his time. We just can't understand his vision. I need to watch this movie.
I think you'd probably like it better than Purple Rain. He still kisses the same way, though. He kisses really weird. He kisses real weird, guys. I don't know.
Don't know if I could kiss him.
While we were watching it, though, Alex, she just leans over. She says, I would peg Prince. And she turns to my sister and says, Abby, would you peg Prince? And she says, yes, I would peg Prince. So that's how my weekend was.
I love that. He does seem like he seemed very easy. Like he'd be very into it.
Yes.
To be pegged.
There was a scene where it's like kind of like foot to head shot, but he's laying down on his stomach. His butt, holy shit. It was like a perfectly sculpted butt with like the little like back curve. I'm like, Prince, what are you doing? You got no business being that like juicy. What's going on?
Reminds me of Jimin. Anyways.
Wait, which one has a flat ass?
Trying to think. I think Hobie kind of has like a flat-ish ass.
You hear that, K-pop stans?
I think so. But they all have amazing thighs.
Okay, fair.
Right? Like Yoongi has like skinny legs, like a woman's.
These little chicken legs.
They're so delicate looking.
You could snap them?
Like they're like he's so pale and skinny. Like there's this one like photo of him at the airport in shorts, and they're so pale, but his knees are like pink, like blushed pink, and I'm just like, how is his leg so delicate?
Wait, did he put blush on his knees?
No, he's just naturally that beautiful.
God, all your K-pop boys are so beautiful,
right? I'm like, I was like, one day I was all like, I'm a giant lesbian. Like I'm not like, I am only like aesthetically attracted to men, and like
this
whatever.
Is how I feel about Prince. Like I'm gay as shit, but like Prince was fucking hot. You feel?
Yeah. And then like
man,
that day when I was talking about that with someone, I was like, maybe I'm just a giant lesbian who just like kind of just enjoys the aesthetics, but grew up in like that heteronormative mindset that they think that they're sexually attracted. But then June posted a picture of his arms, and I was like, not of just only his arms, but like his arms were there, and he was like in a sleeveless flannel shirt, and I was all like, nope, bisexual for sure, bisexual for sure. Oh, I didn't finish telling you about that vacation week.
Oh shit, yeah. Do you guys like our ADHD podcast? Welcome.
Food poisoning. My grandpa got stabbed. Stabbed himself with a steak knife. It went all the way in. But he survived.
Your cryptic tweets are starting to make sense. They're starting to piece together here. I'm like, what the fuck happened with V?
I got my piercings, and then I was joking around about like, man, I can't wait to get stabbed again, because I was supposed to like plan to get a tattoo, maybe even get that tattoo, but it's probably gonna happen in like a month. Mm-hmm. But yeah, then my grandpa got stabbed, and I was like, I shouldn't have talked about stabbing. But like he's all fine now. He's out of the hospital. They did surgery just to make sure nothing was like ruptured or in danger, and they watched him overnight, and he's all good. He's safe. Just recovering at home now.
Oh, that's good.
It was crazy because he was moving, and he just, I guess the knives were like just in a box, like not wrapped up or anything. And like the box was like falling on him or something. So I used his body to like try to push it up, and then a knife just jabbed him.
Okay, I could see how that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he had to yank it out because like it was like stuck from the box, so he had to yank it out so the box was like would unattach from him. Then he called my aunt and was all like, "Hey, I need to go to the doctors." She like goes there. She's like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
I have no words.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Also, apparently at my job, I accidentally so that Monday where I wasn't there, they had to close down for half the day because of something that I did on Saturday. And I was like, "Oops."
V, what did you do on Saturday?
It was a harmless mistake. It was an accident.
You know, one
of those things, that just happens. Because, like, so at my job, I have, like, a box cutter to, like, cut boxes.
Yeah.
And it was in my back pocket, and I was wearing pants that didn't have front pockets, and I was going to the bathroom because I'm like, that's what I have to do. And as I was pulling up my pants, like, my pocket knife, my box cutter falls into the toilet. I turn around, I stare at it, and then I watch it, like, automatically flush down the toilet. And my boss, my like manager, she was in the bathroom at the same time, and she's like, "Did you drop something in the toilet?" And then like she heard it flush, and I was like, and then she started busting up laughing. We leave our stalls. I tell her what happened. She can't stop laughing. She's like if we have to close the store, like I know why. And then I come back, and like Wednesday or Thursday, one of my coworkers are like, "Oh, hey, by the way, while you were gone," and they're like, "It was fine because like we still had to work like even while the store was closed. We just couldn't use the bathrooms at all because they were all broken." And my friend was like, "It's fine because I had time to set up my 401k. I'm chill with this." And I'm like, I didn't believe them until like another lead who like doesn't joke around was all like, "Oh yeah, like we were closed until like 3 or something," and I was like, "What?"
When I think of chaotic bisexual energy, you often come up, and I need you to know this. Like if I get to have sword lesbian energy, you get chaotic bisexual energy, and that feels absolutely right.
It's just who I am. I can't help it.
You're my favorite. I missed you so much.
I had so many stories. I was like, I don't know where to start off. Do I do the food poisoning? Do I do the stabbing? Do I do the like closing my store down for 4 hours when I wasn't there?
Shit, dude. Most exciting thing I did was She-Ra. Did start watching She-Ra because I'm like 2 years late to the party. Guys, it's so good. Why didn't no one tell me? What the shit?
I watched, I think, like the first 2 seasons. I love it so much. I need to rewatch it, but like I don't have Netflix, so
we're gonna come over and you're gonna watch She-Ra with us because holy fucking shit! Not only like the queer, like canonly queer couples love that with all of my being,
like even from the beginning,
like gay undertones of everything. I
love how like even from the beginning, like they're like, we're gonna make these like background characters like gay, but like they're not gonna be like subtly like you have to read in between the lines. Like they will be right in front of your face, and then knowing that like they keep like representing people, and like the relationships between everyone is so real, and it doesn't feel like they're forcing any sort of relationship on anything. Like it's all so natural. So happy.
Like the way they've developed the characters too, and each character feels like it's not only like aesthetically different. Like everyone has different body types, different races. It's so fucking cool. I'm so glad to finally see that in a kid's show. Like, it makes me happy. It makes me so happy.
It's so good. It makes me think of other shows that I've watched, and I'm like, this is what it could have been if only they weren't cowards.
Exactly.
I won't say any words, but like, I won't say any names, but like, you know exactly who I'm thinking of.
Voltron?
I'm not saying names. But like, exactly.
I like not having dead gays in this one. That's nice.
Right?
That's a nice change.
Like, don't kill your gays once you, like, showed them to us. After you've been telling us about having gays in your show for so long. Like,
Cowards.
Cowards.
And then like having like all these like strong female characters and like your one Bo is best boy who's like there's zero toxic masculinity there, and I am just so fucking about it.
Right?
Like even my brother was watching it with us and he got really into it. Which I didn't expect, but he's like, this show's cool.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
That's cool.
People are always like shitting on shows that are like usually like meant to be like towards like female audience. Yeah, but like it's a good show for everyone.
Seriously, I loved her redesign. Like I know when it was first coming out, like there was a lot of snot-nosed boys that were like, well, she's not sexy anymore. Boo, it's for kids. She turns into an 8-foot lady who's buff and has a sword.
Yeah.
What more do you want? That's what I want.
Yeah.
I have a lot of feelings.
I want an 8-foot tall buff woman with a sword.
Don't we all? Attention all 8-foot buff ladies with swords.
I'm single.
Hello.
Hi.
Please be our friend.
Yeah, be my friend. Don't try to romance me because I'll ghost you on accident because I get shy.
It's true. Do you guys know this about me? I feel like people get to know you in real life and then you're like, here's a podcast. And then they get to really know you. And then they bring things up and you're like, oh, that's right. I said that.
Are you talking about how my upper management people, like the people in charge of like my department, all listen, like not all of them, but like most of them listen to this podcast, and I'm like, why? What?
See, I love that.
And then I meet people, and I'm just like, oh, like sorry, like I'm gonna be busy doing stuff, or like I need to do this thing, and they're like, oh, what are you doing?
I'm recording.
And I was like, oh, I have this thing, and then they're like, tell me what it is. What is it called? Give me the link, and I'm like, ah. I'm like, thank you for listening and giving it a try, but like, I'm scared of all the ammunition I'm giving you because of the alcohol.
I completely understand. I felt so bad because the girl I'm nannying, she's the biggest fucking sweetheart. I love her so much. I'm gonna murder her bullies, just FYI.
Oh yeah, finally.
So she was like hyping us up, and she's like, "Oh, I really want to listen to your podcast." I'm like, "Oh, Mackers, you're 11. I can't let you do that, girl."
Yeah, like I recently like reconnected with an old friend, and like we were talking, and she was telling me like, "Oh yeah, like I really want to listen to your podcast, but like all that stuff is like super scary to me now, and I'll get like really bad nightmares." Just like even when I like offhandedly mention like different serial killers, she's like, "Please don't do this." So, like,
really?
Okay. And then she's like, "Yeah, but I tell all my friends or like my mom's friends and like everyone else who's interested in that stuff to listen to your podcast, and they like it." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
BRB crying. Oh, I need to send you this review we got from, you know, that group that we were added to on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it was really cool. It's just like all these other like paranormal and true crime podcasts, and it's kind of like, here, if you guys want to retweet this, or like, how's your guys' day going, and like, all that fun stuff. So people have been doing review swaps, which I thought was an awesome idea. And so we got one from one of these paranormal podcasts called Unsolved Mysteries, solved ?
Yeah.
And left us a really nice review. Said that like normally he doesn't like when like podcasts kind of bullshit for a while, but he's like, I really enjoyed them because they had like really good chemistry together and just like were funny. And I was like, oh, my heart.
We have good chemistry because I have a lot of fire in my chart.
It's true.
We've been stuck together for over 3 years, and I won't let you leave me.
Cheers. You're not allowed to leave me either.
Yeah. You know where I live.
Your mom will always let us in, so there's that.
That's true. Like,
and she will text you saying they're home.
And I'm like, who's home? In my home? They're in my home, but they're home?
They're home. That was the cutest thing ever. Ugh, I love that. Well, my dear friend, would you like to hear a story?
Ooh.
This fine evening.
What kind of story are we talking about today?
So I have it's a paranormal story.
Uh-huh.
It's one that's been on my list. I want to see if you can guess it.
I don't know a lot of paranormal stuff though.
I'm trying to think of like what hint to give without fully.
I feel like it's something that's like.
I'll say it's a curse. It's a curse.
It's a curse.
One I've been very excited to do. You could say my Egyptology loving ass has been very excited to do this.
Ooh. There's oh
Me
my
too.
gosh. I'm like oh sorry. There's like my bugs or my plants have been getting gnats.
Oh no.
I've been slowly trying to like dry them out and like not let them get too bad. But my mom keeps like watering them and I'm like, stop it.
Stop it.
Oh my gosh, what? I can't think of the name now, but it's like it's just probably just like those like just tell me. I can't words. I put like 2 shots in this drink and then realized I didn't have enough room for like all of the orange juice and like grenadine to like actually like make it all equal and like not too strong. So it's just pure tequila for like a long time. And then finally now I can't like taste the tequila after I finally finished putting all the orange juice in it. And so words are hard. Cheers.
Well, today, my dear friend, I'm going to tell you. Oh, and my dear listeners, hello. How are you guys? Are you good? Cool. I'm going to tell you guys all about the Curse of King Tut.
Yeah.
Boo, 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 boo.
That kind of cut out on my side. I hope it wasn't too loud on yours. I was like, I knew it was like one of the pharaohs and kings and stuff. And I was like, couldn't remember his name, even though 3 letters. But
this is what I've been like, it's been on my list for a while, but my mystery loving ass is like, I want to keep doing mysteries. And I'm like, oh shit, I should probably throw some like paranormal stories in there. But so here we are. This one is kind of bonkers, but can also be explained, but not all the way. So as all good mysteries are.
Yeah.
Side note, if you guys, so you know the like dragonology, paradology, Egyptology books that were out and about when we were youngins.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys had the Egyptology book, you are a lesbian now. You can't argue. That's just how it is.
Do you remember how I told you how when I was a kid I thought that I should have been part of like Cleopatra's family line or something?
You thought, yeah, that's right. You were like, I'm royalty. Don't touch me.
I have no idea where that came from.
Was this like 5 or something?
Yeah, I was like really young. And I was just like, it's fine because I'm brown and she's brown. Except then I found out Cleopatra wasn't really brown. She was just like a Greek woman in Egypt or something like that.
I thought she was Egyptian.
Is she? There's someone who was like who was like famous in Egypt that was not actually Egyptian.
Really? Only person I can, because she came from like long line of Egyptian royalty.
I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, Julius Caesar that showed up. I was like, hey.
And I'm like, I don't want to.
She's like, want to help me murder my siblings so I can get the throne? He's like, I like how you talk. Let's get it on.
That's right.
There's history for you. So,
okay.
Are you ready to learn all about the Curse of King Tut?
Yes.
Sweet. So, without further ado. So, Tutankhamun, otherwise known as King Tut. I can't remember how I wrote my notes. I might use a mixture of those 2 names, depending on my mood. Probably the more drunk I get, it'll go to King Tut, because that's easier to say for my white ass. I apologize, guys.
Understandable.
Anyway.
It's just easy.
It's easy.
Less letters to say.
There we go. So King Tutankhamun. He was the 12th pharaoh of the 18th Egyptian dynasty. He rose to power by the age of 9. So he was 9 years old. And he would later die by the age of 18, thus leading him to be named the Boy King.
Wow. So, what was I doing when I was 9? What were you doing when you were 9?
Playing Webkins. Neopets, Club Penguin.
I think I was just a nerd reading Harry Potter and just doing math for fun.
Oh, little baby. Little gay baby.
Look at me now.
Baby
I can't
man,
even count.
baby man, baby man. Video. Did you guys ever see that video of the snake and all these people are pointing at it saying, baby man, baby man?
I love that.
So, our story begins, sort of begins. It begins with King Tut, but I'm going to tell you where this cursed business starts.
Yeah.
So, Howard Carter, he had worked in Egypt for 31 years before he found King Tut's tomb. And he actually begun his career in Egypt at age 17, because this is early 1900s, so you can just go out there and be like, apprenticeship, let me dig. And they're like, I like your moxie, kid. Cool. And he actually was like a really talented artist. And so he was hired to copy wall scenes and inscriptions from the various tombs that they were excavating at the time.
Yeah.
Then 8 years later, in 1899, Carter was appointed the Inspector General of Monuments in Upper Egypt. Then in 1905, Carter resigned from that job. And I don't know what he's doing between then, but in 1907, he went to work for Lord Carnarvon. So, Lord Carnarvon, otherwise known as, so his full name is George Herbert V, Earl of Carnarvon. He had other names, and I cut them out because I could not pronounce them.
That's too many names already. Like, you don't need that many names right now.
You don't.
You don't.
Nope.
You can stop at like 4.
Just stop at 4. So he was a rich bitch in the early 1900s. So he loved to race around in the newly invented automobile. But in an auto accident in 1901, it left him in ill health, and he was vulnerable to the damp English weather. So he's like, you know what? Egypt. Let's call him a name. So he moves there in 1903.
As one
and does. To pass the time, he just took up archaeology as a hobby. Because he's like, you know what? I'm rich. I'm going to go dig in the sand. I'm sure I'll find a tomb. Dumb bitch. Dumb rich bitch. That's Lord Carnarvon.
Man, I wish I was rich enough to just be like, you know what? I'll just dig for fun and not worry about anything else.
I don't know shit. I can find a tomb. Here we are. So he takes it up for fun. He's like, I got this. Mm-hmm. He ends up turning up nothing but a mummified cat, still in its coffin. Oof. In his first season. And then after that, he's like, you know what? Maybe I should actually hire somebody that knows what they're doing and knows what they're looking for. So he decided to hire someone as such, and he ends up hiring Howard Carter because he's been there. He knows how to look for tombs and everything. So,
you know, I just feel like this dude is just like, he just chose like a random spot in the sand. Is like, I'm just gonna start digging here. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to find someone who knows which spot of sand to dig in.
That overconfidence of a white man in the early 1900s.
Yeah, I mean, I know what to do. I can do it. Like, do not worry.
Don't even worry about it. So that's that rich bitch. And then he's like, hey, Howard Carter. Side note, I didn't put this in my notes, but he actually was like blacklisted from working on any archaeological sites because some French tourists, so he had worked on uncovering a separate tomb. And at this time, early 1900s, all these rich people all from Europe were like, let's go to Egypt, and because it's exotic and we have money and we want to look at it because, you know. Yeah. So there was some French tourists there, and they're like, we want to go inside the tomb and touch everything. And he's like, no, you guys can't. I end up getting into a fight with them, and one of the French tourists punches one of the Egyptian guards that was in front of the tomb. And so Howard Carter punches this guy back, which I'm like, nice.
That's good.
And then the French tourists went back and tattled to their mom, and then Howard Carter got blacklisted. So lucky Lord Carnarvon came in.
If that doesn't sound like white rich privilege, then I don't know what does.
Seriously. I was like, damn, bitch. Okay.
Wow. I'm like, you're the one coming into this place, disrespecting everything, and yet you're banning someone who actually cares about protecting what they're looking at and like preserving it the way that it should be.
Which I will say I'm like iffy on archaeology versus tomb raiding, which will come up later. But
yeah,
for whatever reason, I always thought they like ransacked the tomb when they found it. But he actually like put a lot of work into being careful with everything, which I appreciated, especially since it'll come up in 1922 is when they find it. So I'm getting ahead of myself, though. Backtrack real fast. So Carter stated that there were several pieces of evidence already found. It was like some kind of gauntlet cup. And it was found in a cache of like other funerary items, and they all bore the name of Tutankhamun. Okay. And they're like, who is this boy? We have not heard of him. I am convinced that there is a lost pharaoh somewhere in this valley. Because at this time, like, the general assumption of Europe and like the rest of the world was that all the tombs had been found. All the pharaohs have been found. They're like, there's nothing left out there. And
that sounds like something like the Europeans back then would do.
Entirely.
Like, we found everything. We know everything. There's nothing more to look for.
So I'll go into it later, but essentially Tutankhamun's name was kind of erased from the record, and so that's why there was so little evidence of him actually existing. Huh. But Howard Carter found those pieces. He's like, you know what? I think there do be another pharaoh. I want to find him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So besides finding some ancient workmen's huts at the foot of the tomb of Ramses VI and 13 canopic jars at the entrance of the tomb of Merneptah. It's hot in here. Anyway.
I feel that.
Carter didn't actually have a lot to show for 5 years of excavating in the Valley of Kings. Not like he was looking, but not finding very much.
Yeah. And
so this was all funded by Lord Carnarvon, and after those 5 years, Lord Carnarvon's like, hey, I want to stop this. You're not finding shit. Wow. And Carter's like, sir, no, I will pay for the rest of this expedition myself. Let me keep digging. I want to find him.
I must dig to live.
I must dig to live. And so Lord Carnarvon's like, fuck, okay, I'll pay for one more, season, and then that's it. And so Carter's like, shh, I gotta make this count then. Fuck. Mm-hmm. So by November 1st, 1922, Carter began his final season working in the Valley of the Kings. By the 4th day of work, they had found something.
Ooh.
There was a water boy that was at the site, and he was bringing water to the workers when he tripped on a rock. And he's like, that's a weird-looking rock. So he brushes away some of the nearby sand. He discovers that it was a step that had been cut into the rock. Ooh. And so he calls everyone over, and they're like, that's really weird. And so they start brushing it off. They're like, holy shit, this is a set of stairs. By golly George, we found some stairs. Ooh. And by the late afternoon of November 5th, 1922, 12 stairs leading down were revealed. And in front of them stood the upper portion of a blocked entrance. They're like, holy fuck, there is something down here, y'all.
There's a secret level.
Secret tunnel. Everyone watch Avatar. Anyway. So they find that, they're like, oh my god. But to protect the find, Carter actually had his workmen fill in the stairs and like cover them so none were showing. And then he like left people to guard that area. And he went to go contact Lord Carnarvon, who was still in England at that time, so that he could get his butt down there and they could open the tomb. And so on November 23rd, a few days later, Lord Carnarvon and his daughter, Lady Evelyn Herbert, they arrived. There they are.
Yeah.
And the next day, the workers had again cleared the staircase, now exposing all 16 steps and the full face of the sealed doorway. So they're like, holy shit! We found something.
It's exciting.
So tension was mounted. If anything was left inside, it would be the discovery of a lifetime for Carter. And if the tomb was relatively intact, it would be something that the world had never seen. Because again,
they thought they had found everything.
They found everything, and then whenever they were finding these tombs, they were, tomb robbers had gotten there like a few centuries before, and usually left the mummies in really bad shape. So they're like, we can't really learn a whole bunch. So if they could find one intact, that would be a game changer. So even though Carter, he was supposed to wait until an Egyptian official could be present for the opening of the tomb for legal reasons, apparently he couldn't help himself. He's like,
That's the beginning of the demise.
This is the beginning of the end. So he decided, he's like, I'm just going to chip a small hole into the door just so I can look inside. And so later, Carter wrote, quote, "At first I could see nothing, the hot air escaping from the chamber causing the candle flame to flicker. But presently, as my eyes grew accustomed to the light, details of the room within emerged slowly from the mist. Strange animals, statues in gold. Everywhere, the glint of gold. For a moment, an eternity it must have seemed to the others standing by. I was struck dumb with amazement, and when Lord Carnarvon, unable to stand the suspense any longer, inquired anxiously, 'Can you see anything?' It was all I could do to get out the words, 'Yes, wonderful things.'" So he chips a little hole, and then some ghost farts come out, flickers camel. And then as it kind of illuminates the room, he's like, holy shit, there's a lot of gold in there. Hot damn.
I'm like, you can taste the greed.
They're going to say you can taste the ghost farts. I'm like, yes.
You can also taste the ghost farts that are haunting them to this day.
Ghost Tutti Fruities.
Ghost Tutti Fruities.
Again, we are professionals. Thank you.
I have never claimed to be a professional at anything.
Shh. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it, guys.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. So the next morning,
this for almost a year.
Shit. So the next morning, the door came down, revealing the antechamber.
So you're going to say the Antichrist.
Revealing the Antichrist. Here we are with the ghost toots. Ghost toots.
I love that.
Me too. So the wall opposite the entrance wall was piled nearly to the ceiling with boxes, chairs, couches, and so much more. Most of them gold, in what was quoted as organized chaos. So similar to you, but bisexual chaos.
I'm like, my organization isn't the best, but it's organized to me.
It's very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
So on the right wall of the antechamber stood 2 life-size statues of King Tut, facing each other as if they were protecting the sealed entrance that was between them. So the antechamber was basically, it just held all the items. Yeah, items, because with Egyptian ideology and religion, you needed all these items to use onto the next life, because the Egyptians very much were obsessed with and believed in you were living on, and so that was very, very, very important, was having your stuff with you. So fun fact of the day. And so before the entrance between the 2 statues in the antechamber could be opened, the items in the antechamber needed to be removed, or they would end up possibly being damaged from debris, dust, and people moving.
Yeah.
So Carter and his team had to be extremely careful when attempting to remove any of the objects, since many of the items were, extremely delicate. And there was even a pair of beaded sandals, which the threading had disintegrated. And the beads were just held together just from being in the same spot for 3,000 years.
Wow.
And so many of those items needed immediate treatment. So they had the celluloid spray, and they just kept needing to spritz the stuff so it would stay intact.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
It's beyond. It's bonkers.
It's amazing to imagine, to open up that and find history preserved so perfectly.
History.
It's amazing.
Just so fucking cool. And so it actually took them 7 weeks to clear the antechamber.
Ooh.
So it was so full, and they're being very careful, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Again, because they're take all those things. So on February 17th, 1923, they began dismantling the sealed door between the statues, and soon King Tut's sarcophagus was revealed.
Ooh.
So they go and they're like, oh my goodness gracious. They see his coffin. Yeah. It is his sarcophagus. Sorry. When the heavy lid of that first layer was lifted, a gilded wooden coffin was revealed. The coffin was in a distinctly human shape and it was about 7 feet and 4 inches long. So after lifting the first, second, third, and fourth coffin lids, he was packed in there tight.
As one should be.
As one, he was tucked in for bedtime.
Yeah.
Tucked in.
He was snug.
He was all snuggled up, ready for the afterlife. So after those 4 coffin lids are taken away, the royal mummy of Tutankhamun was revealed.
Ooh.
So it had been over 3,000 years since a human being had seen the king's remains, which is also bonkers to think about. And this was the first royal Egyptian mummy that had been found untouched since his burial.
That's
so
crazy.
Carter and the others hoped that that King Tutankhamun's mummy would reveal a large amount of knowledge about ancient Egyptian burial customs because they kind of knew, but there was a lot that
because of all the tomb robbers, like it'd be hard to get as much accurate information about it. So
seriously, like you'd go in and be like, "Oh, we found a tomb," and it's like, "Oh, half this mummy's missing."
Oh, like
where he go?
It's been raided. Okay.
Which side note, guys? Do you know about both mummy unwrapping parties and the color mummy brown? So this is our fun little like intro of my fun facts insert here. So mummy unwrapping parties were popular in the 1800s Victorian era. The rich bitches would essentially buy a mummy. They would host a grand party. In the parlor room, they would lay the mummy out and unwrap the mummy. And it was a whole thing. Yeah. Really fucking bad, huh?
I heard about this before, but
terrible.
Still. Why?
Why people continue to amaze me with their level of terribleness.
The caucasity.
The caucasity.
I can't. I don't even want to think anymore. Like my brain is done. I don't know.
So this is like a popular fucking thing. And then the color mummy brown, at this time when mummies were being found, they're like, you know what? We can do 2 things here. We can take the mummy bodies. We can grind them up. We can turn them into medicine. Or we can turn them into paint. And so there are a few famous paintings that include Mummy Brown.
Oh my gosh.
It was made from actual mummies. Fun facts. Cheers. Dink. Yep. Early 1900s were a time, bud.
I'm glad I'm drunk to be hearing this stuff.
Me too, buddy. Me too. So, Carter... What
is it about these Europeans in those times being like, let's just unbury these dead people and just unwrap them and then use their remains? Like,
as they were unwrapping them too, they like fucking laugh at the things they found in there. They're like, "Who found it? And it's a mummy.
It's a dead person. Okay, I desecrated their body. Cool."
Which side note, when I want it to come back, but there was the Mummies of the World exhibit that came here a few years ago. Went to see it. It was real fucking cool because I love Egyptology. I'm still startled by one of the mummies there. It was a very old mummy. It was wrapped up. The penis of the mummy was also wrapped up and still intact.
Oh.
And I just remember looking at it being really confused. I'm like, how?
When I think about mummies being wrapped up, I always think of it like the whole body is being wrapped together, tightly bounded, not like...
Well, I think it would be like a few layers. Like you'd have like that layer that's on each appendage and then like together to keep everything together, essentially.
Yeah. But I'm just like, why would you even... Okay. I don't understand it. I probably will never understand it, but they have their reasons for it, so I'll just have to accept that they just had to do that. Okay.
What I also love is that with the canoptic jars, they put the heart, because they believed all of you was in your heart And then they threw away the brain. Because they would go in with, like, that scene from The Mummy, that's true. They would go in with, like, a little scramble hooker and scramble your brains and pull it out that way because it was easiest to do without damaging anything else.
Yeah.
Fun facts.
I'm like, brain's worthless, just your heart. That's all you need. They sound like a fucking, like, water sign.
Okay, ancient Egyptians were dramatic as shit, though. And I love it so much.
Like Scorpio and Aries.
Literally them.
Sagittarius energy.
They were just so dramatic. Oh my god.
Scorpio, Aries, Sagittarius energy.
There we go. BT dubs, I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm genuinely very interested in Egyptology.
I also love Scorpios and Aries and Sagittarius. I have Aries and Sagittarius.
Yeah, I was saying, like, you got both of those, bitch.
I'm a rising Aries and a Sagittarius moon. Yeah.
All right. So, Carter and his team, they found over 150 items on the mummy.
Wow.
Almost all of them are gold, including amulets, bracelets, collars, rings, and daggers. They also found, like, toe caps.
Huh.
Which I saw pictures of. I'm like, huh. Okay. Huh. He was a fancy bitch. What can I say? And then the autopsy of he was a boy king. So he's
gotta be fancy.
He's gotta be fancy. So the autopsy of the mummy found that the ancient Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun had been about 5 feet 5 inches tall, and then, like I said, died. Or they say anywhere from 17 to 19. So the general assumption is 18.
Mm-hmm.
You just be dead. So are you ready to hear a little bit about Tutankhamun?
Yeah.
Okay, so as I said before, Tutankhamun took the throne at around 8 or 9 years of age after his father died. Mm-hmm. He later married his half-sister, and during their marriage, they lost 2 daughters shortly after their birth. And this was common because Egyptian pharaohs and the royal family were seen as, like, direct descendants of gods, and so you wanted to keep that bloodline within the god family. If that makes sense. So you married your sisters a lot.
Yeah.
So, due to the common practice of incest within ancient Egyptian royal families, Tutankhamun, he was actually physically disabled with a deformity on his left foot, along with bone necrosis that required the use of a cane, several of which were actually found in his tomb. And he had other health issues, including scoliosis, and had contracted several strains of malaria. So he did not have a good immunity system. It was just, like, bad all around.
Who would have known?
Who would have thought? Yeah, not great, buddy. And so during his short reign, rest in peace, rest in power, King Tut, my boy Tutankhamun. So he actually restored ancient Egyptian religion after its dissolution by his father. Because his dad's like, you know what? We've had 2,000 gods for over 3,000 years. We're going to worship one now. I'm going to close down every other temple. And y'all just going to worship this one. And so you can imagine the people of Egypt were like, sir?
Rude.
Sir. Yeah. So not great. So after King Tut came to the throne, he's like, I should probably make the people happy and, just, sweep that under the rug real fast.
Yeah.
So the problem was after King Tut died, the next pharaoh, wanting to ensure the erasure of King Tut's father and everything he did, he's like, I need to just wipe this clean. So he destroyed all the evidence of both his existence and reign. But in doing so, he also ended up erasing King Tut's legacy as well. And that was kind of just a casualty of sorts.
Yeah.
And the location of his tomb was lost for 3,000 years. Because they're like, King Tut, who? Don't know her.
Because they wouldn't want to know about him because then you would know about his father.
Exactly. It's sad. Side note, guys. Did you know about the trans mummy? Because I think about this sometimes. There was this all the time. There was this mummy that was found, and they were found with all male, traditional funerary garb, a beard and everything, like the beards that were attached on. And like all like their hieroglyphs and everything was like, yeah, this dude was chill. And when they're examining the mummy, they're like, wait, this is what? My brain short-circuited.
Like biologically.
Biological, there we go. I'm like, not real, girl, because that's not the right word.
That's definitely not the right word.
That's definitely not the right word. So I'm glad my brain short-circuited. A biological girl, and they're like, these silly Egyptians, they buried her wrong. And it's like, no. This was a real boy, passed as a real boy, was honored as a real boy. Like, come on. And also one of the earliest depictions of queer people is actually in an Egyptian tomb. It's these for so long, it was called the Brothers. As you can imagine, it was these two guys that were set up in a traditional marital pose. They're like standing next to each other being lovey-dovey. Everyone's like, oh, these brothers are really close. And it's like, it was actually, chill to be gay in Egypt. Fun fact.
It was chill to be gay before the Europeans attacked.
That's also how it was in like ancient Japan too. And China as well. Fun fact. Europeans ruin everything. Anyway. So, there were no surviving records of the circumstances with Tutankhamun's death, but many archaeologists believe that his death was likely the result of an infection in his leg. And then with his like compromised immune system, he didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
So he was actually buried in a tomb that was unusually small considering his status, most likely due to him, dying at 18. So suddenly they're like, shit, we got to get a tomb together fast.
Yeah.
So his royal tomb would have not been completed yet. And there's actually a fun theory that his tomb was supposed to be Nefertiti's. So the tomb he's in was supposed to be Nefertiti's tomb because Nefertiti was actually a stepmom. Mm-hmm. There was like a weird Egyptian family trees are they're too much. They're too much.
You want to know about crazy families?
It's fucking seriously so. There were 5,398 items found in the tomb, including a solid gold coffin, face mask, thrones, archery bows, trumpets, a lotus chalice, food, wine, sandals, and fresh linen underwear.
Nice.
And it took Howard Carter. You always need he needs his tidy whities.
He needs those for the next life.
Like when you're packing for somewhere and you pack like you're going to shit yourself 5 times?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. So, it actually took Howard Carter 10 years to catalog all the items.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. So.
That dedication, though. I love that.
Right? Cheers.
Yeah.
So, now I'm going to tell you a little bit about the aftermath, and then you're going to hear about the curse.
Yeah.
So, the discovery of King Tut's tomb in November of 1922 created an obsession around the world. Hundreds of tourists waited outside the tomb for a peek because they're like, holy shit. Like, this was just... It just was like...
It was a Disney World of the time.
It was the Disney World of the time. So they're like, holy shit, buddy. Mm-hmm. And so hundreds more people tried to use their influential friends and acquaintances to like get a tour of the tomb. They're like, hey, I know a guy that knows a guy. You should let me look inside. So, fun fact. Ancient Egyptian style. Ancient Egyptian style clothes quickly hit the markets and appeared in fashion magazines.
Not surprised.
Even architecture was affected when your Egyptian designs were copied into modern buildings. I thought that was pretty neat.
Cultural appropriation.
No, you're right.
I'm gonna make this my thing now. Okay. I'm like, it's not, but
I'm gonna unwrap your body and then steal your clothes. And I'm also gonna depict you as white for the next 1,000 years. Yeah.
Right.
Do you ever remember learning about Egyptians? They're like, here's the helmets they wore. And it's very clearly hair, like twisted locks. And they're like, this is the helmets. And it's like, no. No. I have a lot of feelings. Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome. We have feelings.
So, after the discovery, various journalists hounded the scene and they threatened to endanger the dig site because there was just a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
So Lord Carnarvon, he actually decided to give exclusive rights to the London Times, meaning that any other paper would have to wait until the London Times published their paper and then copy their report. This did not go over well.
I can imagine.
Because you're not going to buy a paper from a rival newspaper if you can get the fresh story first, And so it is thought that by some that rival papers actually invented the curse in order to sell their papers, as this would have been a more exciting story. Which, fair theory. Stop grabbing my feet. I've got a cat under my chair, and he is grabbing my socks.
Aww.
Sir, ouch, 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 ouch.
And pillow, or Charlie's on my pillow that I sleep on, getting all of her fur on the place where I put my face.
At least she's not biting your toes. Ouch. God.
True.
Sir, I know you're bored. Can I have my sock back, please? Sir,
give him the sock.
I'm tempted to at this point. Okay, you know what? Here. There you go.
Take the sock as my offering.
His name's Star-Lord, and he's lucky he's cute.
That's cute.
It's cute. He's fluffy. So, are you ready to hear about the curse?
Yes.
The reason why we're here with this story.
Yes.
Thank you for sitting through all my fun facts.
I loved it.
Thank you. This curse is kind of fucking wild. So, the curse of the pharaohs, or the mummy's curse, is a curse allegedly to be cast upon anyone who disturbs the mummy of an ancient Egyptian, especially a pharaoh. This curse, which does not differentiate between thieves and archaeologists, is claimed to cause bad luck, illness, or death. So, according to the legend, Howard Carter, he actually brought a pet canary to the dig site. And some say that one day it started singing furiously as Carter walked over there to Tutankhamun's tomb.
Aww.
And this would be later people took note of this because the day after the tomb was opened, a serpent got into the bird's cage at Carter's house and ate it.
No.
So many saw the snake, which was a cobra, as representing the spirit of the dead pharaoh, and the legend of the curse began. So it's weird that it was a cobra that came in and ate the bird. The day after they opened the tomb.
Yeah.
That could be coincidence, but that's...
It's a very interesting...
Still weird.
Yeah.
So...
It's so sad.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
To hear about...
Yeah.
The 15 deaths...
Ooh.
attributed to the curse.
Yeah.
There are some fucking weird ones. Oh my god.
I'm excited.
So, number 1 on our roster.
Me.
Is Lord Carnarvon himself. Also you.
No.
Not you. You're not allowed to die yet. Spritz you with water.
Tell me about this man who dies.
Who dies. So, the man who financed the excavation of King Tut's tomb, Lord Carnarvon, was the first to succumb to the supposed curse. Lord Carnarvon accidentally tore open a mosquito bite while shaving that he had gotten a few days earlier.
Oof.
And he ended up dying of blood poisoning shortly after.
Oh. Ow.
So, yeah. He got a mosquito bite on his cheek, and then he was shaving, he cut it back open, and then somehow that got infected and infected his blood. Weird, right? Ouch!
Oh.
Ow, 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 ow.
And now you are going to be poisoned.
Ow. Sir! Ouch.
The curse is coming for us. Oh no!
He's got sharp little claws, dude.
Star-Lord, please.
Star-Lord,
I
please.
need her.
You want my sock? Fine.
You want the other sock?
Oh. Are you happy now?
Must I mail you socks to give to the
God
sir?
damn. I need to get a picture of this real fast because holy shit.
I'm like, why must he attack? Is this the curse of us talking about this? Are we accidentally disrespecting? I don't mean to disrespect the pharaohs and the Egyptians. Only the Europeans that were doing the crazy stuff.
Like, I genuinely, we are just making fun of the people that
I'm
disturbed the tomb.
Yeah.
King Tut Egyptians, you guys had it. You're all good. Yeah. Okay, so I just sent you the photos of what I'm dealing with.
The capacity that happened to you.
Yeah, we apologize for everyone.
Yeah. By the way, I never mentioned how I love all these photos of Prince. They are so good.
You can probably tell the first one in the corner is Alex's.
Oh, that beautiful boy with the socks.
The stinker I'm dealing with?
He's so cute, and he was just like, I must have these socks. Give me more socks.
I know you're a little butt sometimes, but you're very cute.
Oh.
I booped his nose. Take that.
Oh.
So. So, yeah, Lord Carnarvon cuts his mosquito bite open, dies of blood poisoning. So this occurred a few months after the tomb was opened, and a mere 6 weeks after the press started reporting on the mummy's curse, which was thought to afflict anybody associated with disturbing the mummy. So, legend has it that when Lord Carnarvon died, all the lights in Cairo mysteriously went out before turning back on 5 minutes later.
Huh.
And according to family members of Lord Carnarvon, his dog Susie let out a howl of anguish at precisely the same time Carnarvon died and then died herself. Yeah. Yeah, Yeah. So what makes it spooky is that Susie was back home in England, 3,500 miles away.
Yeah.
And this story was often told by his son, George Herbert, the 5th Earl of Carnarvon. What is even stranger is that he died precisely 5 months to the day after discovering the tomb. Even weirder. It is said that X-rays of Tutankhamun showed that he had a small scar on his cheek in exactly the same place where Lord Carnarvon was bitten.
Oh,
weird, right?
That's crazy. I was gonna be like, when my grandma died, my cousin, her dog, he at the same time, like around the time when my grandma apparently like passed away, he also just started like whining so much at that same moment that she passed. And like he was like my grandma loved that dog, like my cousin's dog, and they were like pretty close. So it's like I can get that there's like that connection with animals, but like everything else is like, oh wow, that's insane.
Like that one was spooky. I was like,
yeah.
So that was number 1. Number 2, George J. Gould. So Gould, this boy was he was a wealthy American financier and a railroad executive who visited the tomb of Tutankhamun in 1923 and fell sick almost immediately afterward. He never recovered, and he died of pneumonia a few months later. So he's down for the count. Number 3.
Goodness.
We have Prince Ali Kamel Fahmy Bey. Say that name 5 times fast.
No, I won't even say it once.
Cool.
I'm not going to disrespect. I can't say it.
Big mood. I had to practice that one.
I would have to practice too.
I had to practice a lot of names, guys. Please know that we do put in effort, I swear, to pronounce names. I promise.
I don't. I just don't say them.
I'm vouching for both of us. It's fine.
You put in the effort for both of us.
There we go. Here we are. So this prince, he was a 23-year-old Egyptian prince who was shot by his French wife 6 months. So they'd been married for 6 months. His wife shoots him. Her name was Marie Marguerite on the 10th of July, 1923 at the Savoy Hotel. Shortly before this event, he had visited the tomb of King Tutankhamun where he had his photograph taken. Side note, don't feel bad for this guy. He was like the fucking worst, and he was abusive and super shitty, and
maybe this wasn't even like about
the
curse. It might just be he was just a shitty person. This one's like his wife was like, I'm kind of done with you. Like,
no, his wife like feared for her life. She was like, fuck, he's like
good for her. Glad that she shot him. Yeah.
And so she got acquitted because she's like self-defense, and everyone's like, yeah, he was real shitty. So good for her. Nice. So, number 4. Audrey Herbert. So it is said that Lord Carnarvon's half-brother suffered from King Tut's curse merely by being related to him.
Huh.
So Audrey Herbert, he was born with a
Geneva. Glaucoma.
Motherfucker.
Jared, 19, can't read.
Degenerative. Hello, welcome to our podcast. We're trying our best all the time. Do you guys enjoy this? I hope so.
I love you.
I love you too. I'm glad you enjoy me struggling with my words.
It's fine because you watch me struggle with my existence.
I love your pronunciation of everything. It makes my day. Tee-hee-hee-hee. So he was born with that fucking word, an eye condition of that, and became totally blind late in life. A doctor suggested that his rotten, infected teeth were somehow interfering with his vision, and Herbert had every single tooth pulled from his head in an effort to regain his sight, because, early 1900s. It didn't work. Does. It did not work. He did, however, die of sepsis as a result of the surgery just 5 months after the death of his supposedly cursed brother. So that could be, coincidence, but still pretty gnarly.
That's crazy.
How about that?
Still think it's just a coincidence, though, but yeah.
So, number 5 is Ahmed Kamal Bey. So, Bey was Egypt's first Egyptologist and a scientific pioneer in his own country. Mm-hmm. He visited the tomb of Tutankhamun and died shortly afterward from a lung infection, which I will get into a bit later about what it could be.
Okay.
Because I don't think his was as much of a curse, because I think he knew what he was doing. You feel?
Yeah.
It wasn't being a shitty white person. You feel?
Yeah.
What did you say earlier?
The caucasity?
Caucasity. There we go. The caucasity. Can we coin that term?
I'm like, I've seen it on Twitter for years.
I've never seen that. That was so good. Caucasity. It feels right.
It's very good.
It's very... So, number 6. Ding, ding, ding. Sir Archibald Douglas Reed. Proving that you didn't have to be one of the excavators or expedition backers to fall victim to the curse. Reed, who was a radiologist, he merely x-rayed to the mummy of Tutankhamun before the mummy was given to museum authorities. He got sick the next day and then died 3 days later. So he was just, I feel kind of bad because he was like just doing his job there.
Yeah, he's all like, they forced me to do this. This is how I pay for my house and for life.
Like, I'm just going to give an x-ray to this mummy so we can see what's going on. And then dies. Yeah, I was like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
Number 7 is Hugh Evelyn White. He was a British archaeologist. He visited King Tut's tomb, and he actually may have also helped excavate the site.
Uh-huh.
After seeing a death sweep over about 2 dozen of his fellow excavators by 1924, Evelyn White hung himself, but not before writing allegedly in his own blood, quote, I have succumbed to a curse which forces me to disappear. So that's spooky.
I wish that he wrote more.
Me too.
More blood to write more.
More blood finger painting, please and thank you.
Please, I need to understand why you think this.
Give me your explanation.
I need a 12-page dissertation paper on why you think this.
Give me your thesis, but only written in blood.
Only in blood.
Only
your
in blood.
You can't steal anyone else's blood. It has to be your personal blood.
Only your blood. All right.
Take a lot of iron and then write. This is why I'm not a teacher.
I think you'd be the best teacher. So number eight is Sir Lee Stack. So Governor General of the Anglo-Egyptian Sudan was one of the first people to visit the tomb of Tutankhamun. 6 months later, while he was being driven from the Egyptian War Office to Cairo, from the Egyptian War Office in Cairo to his official residence, he was shot multiple times by a group of students. And then he died from his wounds 3 days later on the 19th of October, 1924. So it could be coincidence, but
interesting.
Interesting.
I'm like, everything sounds like a coincidence until it's all together, and you're like,
until you have 15 people, and you're like,
This is also like super early, like 19. Like no, this is the 20th century. So I'm like, I don't know.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So next,
nothing.
Number nine is Aaron Ember. So American Egyptologist Aaron Ember was friends with many of the people who were present when the tomb was opened, including Lord Carnarvon. Ember died in 1926 when his house in Baltimore burned down, less than an hour after he and his wife hosted a dinner party. He could have exited safely, but his wife encouraged him to save a manuscript that he had been working on while she fetched their son. Sadly, they and the family's maid died in the catastrophe.
Oh.
The name of the manuscript, do you want to know it? The Egyptian Book of the Dead.
It was meant to burn.
It do be like that.
Spoopy.
So, number 10 is
Arthur
Crichton Mace. So Mace was a member of Howard Carter's team during the discovery of King Tut's tomb. And provided invaluable help to Carter during both the excavations and the drafting of the first volume of the Tomb of Tutankhamun. Just kind of like saying what was all there.
Yeah.
In 1924, his health started to mysteriously deteriorate, and he left Egypt never to return. He died on April 6th, 1928, after having written a letter claiming that he was being poisoned by arsenic. No further details.
These people need to write more.
Right? They need, like, y'all.
But that one writer needs to write less. Then if he wrote less, he wouldn't have died.
He wouldn't have died. Come on.
The wife would have been like, you can write again. Come on. Get out of the house.
Get out of the house. It's kind of burned to the ground.
Get the kid and get out of the house together.
Get the kid, get out of the fucking house. So, number 11. 11. Sir Bruce Ignam. Ingham.
I can't.
Fuck.
Ignam.
I think Ignam?
Ingham.
If you know this name, I am sorry.
Idiom.
I'm gonna say Bruce.
Bruce Willis.
So, Brucey boy. Howard Carter. Oh, fuck this one. I forgot about this one. So, Sir Bruce Ignam. Brucey boy.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Brucey boy.
Brucey Willis. Sorry.
So, Howard Carter had given a paperweight to his friend, Sir Bruce, as a gift. The paperweight was a mummified hand wearing a scarab bracelet that was supposedly inscribed with the phrase, quote, "Cursed be he who moves my body, to him shall come fire, water, and pestilence." So Bruce's house...
Everything starts to make sense now. Why the fuck is this a paperweight? Who the fuck is like, here, have this dismembered hand with a curse on it? What?
We'll get this. So he got his paperweight. Sir Bruce, like Brucey boys, his house burned to the ground not long after receiving this gift. And he's like,
good.
I don't like this. So he takes it. He throws it into the nearby river to get rid of it.
Yeah, because that works.
Yeah, when he tried to rebuild his house, it was hit with a flood.
Good.
So if that one's a coincidence, I will eat my own shoes, because...
What kind of shoes? Which ones? Your Docs?
Oh, those would be hard to chew through. Maybe my Converse.
Is it low tops or high tops?
High tops. Maybe I won't have to eat them, because that doesn't sound like a fucking coincidence to me.
It doesn't sound like a coincidence at all.
Who knows? Number 12. Okay.
Number 12.
So is Richard Bethel. Bethel was Lord Carnarvon's secretary and the first person behind Carter to enter the tomb. Oof. He died in 1929 under mysterious circumstances, or suspicious, I should say. He was found smothered in his room at the elite London's Gentleman Club. Suspicious. He's found smothered. Suspicious. He done been murdered.
He got murdered. But by who? No one knows.
No one knows. What is weird, though, is that apparently the year before he died, there had been a series of mysterious fires in his home where some of the priceless finds from King Tut's tomb were stored. Suspicious. It gets weirder, though. So, Richard, our boy Richard, the one that, got smothered, his father, so a few months after Bethel's death, his father jumped to his death from his 7-story apartment. His suicide letter read, quote, "I really cannot stand any more horrors and hardly see what good I am going to do here. So I am making my exit." End quote.
That's a dramatic exit.
It was very dramatic. It was said that his apartment was filled with ancient Egyptian artifacts directly from the dig site as a gift from his son. So that's fun.
I love these white Europeans who are just like,
so many.
We're gonna protect and reserve all these, but for ourselves.
They do be doing that.
Yeah, let me gift all these relics that have warnings to leave alone. Let me just take them and touch them and move them to places.
Mysterious fires? Pisha. Paperweight made out of a mummified hand?
Nah.
Pisha.
This is why if my cat doesn't like a thing in my house, it's out. This is why I have a cat.
Smart. Good thinking.
I'm like, I always wanted to have a cat or like animals, and just so that I know, especially like good natured animals or like protective animals. So then like,
yes,
when something is off, like, for a fact, because like my dog, he loves people.
Oh yeah.
But
so if Moo doesn't like somebody, I do not trust them.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
Like when he did it, like he once like at my house, with someone like close to my family, he did not like them at all. It was kept barking and like was not okay with them. And I was like, well, I'm not leaving you alone with my dog. And all the bad feelings I had make sense now.
Oh, yeah. I trust Moo with my life. 100%. He's a good boy.
And also Charlie, like, I know that she has her way of showing things, but like I don't trust her when she's being angry with people because she doesn't like people, but like objects, like I know that she would be like all about like feeling that. Like,
so I will say Charlie likes to see me scared.
Yeah, she likes to taunt people.
She likes to taunt me, guys.
She's great for like objects because I don't think Moo would really care too much because he's not very interested in items anyways. He's interested in people.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's good at sensing people. She's good at sensing things.
So you've got like double defense here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 14. Number 14.
So we're getting there.
We're getting there. Almost done, guys. Almost done.
We're almost done. And then my story.
And then your story. Woohoo! So,
yeah.
Number 14 is Edgar Steele. So Steele, who was 57, he was in charge of handling the tomb's artifacts at the London's British Museum.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up dying at the hospital after a minor stomach operation in 1930. So he's done so. Bye. Number 15.
I feel like these ones with like medical reasons, I'm like, I'm not sure if I would trust the doctors back then anyways.
Yeah. I feel like those ones are reaching a little bit, but the other ones.
Yeah. I'm like, but the burning and the flooding, that makes sense.
That would be kind of strong.
Mm-hmm. And then, like the one where like the guy like nicks his cheek. The Lord dude.
Lord Carnarvon, yeah, like.
Yeah, that's really creepy. That same exact spot. Yeah.
It's too spooky.
But like medical things doesn't really
feel it.
Not as much. Like the guy with like had to get his teeth pulled, like that maybe like something about that story kind of made me feel like maybe there was something to it. Like
I felt like a weird progression.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so 15. Ready?
15
is James Henry Breasted. Titty. James, our boy James.
James Titty.
I feel bad because he was another famous Egyptologist of the day.
Oh.
I don't know how to say your name, dude. I'm sorry. I do apologize.
Titties.
He was working with Carter when the tomb was opened. He himself didn't die until 1935, although his death did occur immediately after a trip to Egypt. So, spooky.
Yeah, was it just like out of nowhere?
I think so. It was a little bit harder to find information on his, but
makes sense.
So, number 16, our secret one, Howard Carter. But I don't think his really counts. So. Number 16. ASMR. Quarantini's Tipsy edition. We love history. Hello.
Hi.
Wow. Hi. So I'm
16.
So Howard Carter. So Carter himself, he never had like he never believed in the curse. He's like, this is bullshit. Mm-hmm. Y'all didn't believe in any of it. He's like, fuck this. Nah.
Also, those people could have also been manifesting that own negative energy into themselves.
That's what I wonder.
Or onto themselves. Like they think of it and they're just bringing that into their own lives. But also, dismembered mummy hand.
Probably not the best call there, buddy.
No,
I'm good. So he himself had never had any like mysterious illnesses, and his house never had any fires or anything.
Yeah.
And he was just like, nah, this ain't real. He did, however, report in his diary a strange account in May of 1926, so a few years after, when he saw a group of jackals that are the same type of animal as Anubis, the guardian of the dead. Mm-hmm. And he saw a group of them in the desert. And this was the first time in over 35 years of working in the desert that he saw them. He was like, that's kind of weird. Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he ended up dying of lymphoma at age 64. His tombstone even says, quote, "May your spirit live. May you spend millions of years, you who love Thebes, sitting with your face to the north wind, your eyes beholding happiness." And so perhaps the pharaohs sought to spare him from the curse. There we go.
Maybe
it's because he was being more respectful. I don't know.
Yeah, he was like the most respectful out of all of them, like with trying to like preserve everything.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like he was he genuinely wanted to explore and to learn more about it instead of exploit it for what it could be. And it wasn't just like a random hobby for him just because he had money. Like
he was like, I'm gonna find King Tutankhamun because nobody.
Like he genuinely wanted to know more, and like respected that, and like everyone else did not really. They all had their own alternative motives for doing what they were doing.
Oh yeah. So. Maybe King Tut saw Lord Carnarvon and he's like, this rich bitch. I don't think so.
Because I think that, like, if you were to move something in respect to understand it and to preserve it, because you know that, like, if you left it there the way that it is, like, you wouldn't be able to preserve it as well as it could be.
Exactly.
Like, it makes sense for you to move it. And so I think that, like, the spirits would know and understand that. I don't know.
I mean, I'm with you. I don't know. It's
because, like, they've been moved since, I'm guessing. Like, I don't.
So King Tut, look, if guys, if this will make you feel better, King Tut's, his body is actually back in his tomb now. Mm-hmm. Thankfully. Yeah. It stays there. It went through some stuff this past like century.
I bet.
Like people would take him to universities and museums, and they would just like hold up pieces of him for people to see, and it was yeah. Anyway, there are many who brush off the curse as nothing but a string of coincidences, and a lot of people do cite the mold and bacteria growing on the walls of the tomb as the cause for many of the deaths, because this had been unopened for 3,000 years, and there was these green and black splotches on the walls.
Makes sense.
So I think the few that died from like that one Egyptologist that died from like the lung infection.
Yeah.
I think that could be that.
Or like they think that like they're being cursed, but it's like, no, you've just inhaled
dangerous bacteria.
Dangerous, very dangerous. Bacteria and like fungus and shit. And it's
but it can't really explain. That can't explain all of them.
Doesn't explain the fires and the flooding.
Nope. Or the suicides. Those were
the suicide with the bloody note. I do like that story. I wish there was more blood to write more words. That's it.
Aww. Oh, what's cool is that as recently as March 2016, radar scans have indicated that there may yet be hidden chambers not opened within King Tut's tomb.
Oh!
So pretty fucking cool. I haven't heard anything more about it, but
that's exciting.
And ironically, Tutankhamun, whose obscurity during his own time allowed his tomb to be forgotten, has now become one of the most well-known pharaohs of ancient Egypt. Having traveled around the world as part of an exhibit, King Tut's body now once again rests in the Valley of the the Valley of the Kings. Side note, if you want to go to Boston in like fall, let me know, because they're having a King Tut exhibit and it's going to have 150 of the artifacts on display, and I really want to see it. Anyway.
If we go and then we get cursed, I'm going to write a book in blood for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I'll take iron tablets while I do it.
Shucks. And so that's the story of King Tut's curse. It's weirder than I originally thought. Like,
I loved it.
Details. What's your opinion? Curse, yay or nay?
Yay. Only to the people who actually had those items, though. I think the people that like didn't actually like own those things, but like were in the like that actually like went into the sarcophagus and like, or not into the sarcophagus, but like went into the tomb place, chamber. And they were opening everything, like, because you open up so many things, all that dust and all the things are going to come out into your face too.
What was also weird is that so under his third coffin lid, there had been some sort of like resin or something poured all over his body. And so it actually stuck one of the coffin lids together, and it kind of got all over his mummy and kind of damaged his mummy a lot. And so they actually had to, when they were trying to unwrap him, they had to like chip away the bandages because it was like cemented. So spooky.
They shouldn't have unwrapped him.
They should have unwrapped him.
They should have left him be.
And there comes that question of like, at what point is it no longer grave robbing, and what point is it archaeology?
Right. It's like
I do.
I feel like to a point you are curious, but like I wouldn't think that you should, like, if it's, you shouldn't desecrate a body.
Should desecrate a body. No. Yeah. I'm glad his body is back in his tomb now.
Yeah.
That makes me very happy to hear.
Yeah.
I also wanted to be an Egyptologist when I was little, but fun fact, if you do not have a ding-a-ling-dong in Egypt, you cannot physically take anything out of the ground. You can hold it after it's been taken out of the ground. But as a biological gal, you can't do that. So that's super fun.
I wanted to go to Egypt when I was in 6th grade because my school was doing a summer program. And I was like, Mom, we should go. And she's like, we don't have money. And I'm like, oh.
do you want to go with me? I was looking it up recently, and it's like relatively safe to travel there.
Yes. Let's go.
Cool.
And then we'll just come back to Boston.
Come back to Boston.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you mind if I take a break so I can add another shot of tequila to my drink and then some more orange juice to it, and then I can tell you a story?
Sweet.
If you want.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. I'm gonna find a snack. Beep.
Yeah.
And we're back.
I need to change my lighting because I look whiter. White.
Oh, hey, you look like me. I tell you the other day I was like comparing my legs with my mom's because she loves to be out in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
She's gotten very tan. I looked translucent next to her. I looked very sickly.
Oh no!
I was like, damn, that do be right though.
Oh, that's so sad.
Very sad. The snack cake's okay.
What kind of snack is it?
It says mini cake and Entermans.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't think I like it.
I'm sorry for your loss. Okay.
I tried.
Okay, so.
So, my dear friend, what kind of story do you have for me today?
Do you want to guess? It's a true crime.
It's a true crime. Side note, guys, thank you for over 1,000 downloads. Holy fuck!
Right? That's
holy shit.
Insane. My heart. I need to Google something as my hint to you.
Okay. Side note. So we usually average from like I want to say 30 to 40 downloads per episode. It's been like growing slowly.
Wow.
Episode 21, I think, whichever one had like the first like DLF pass part. Mm-hmm. That one like bumped up to 70 suddenly. I was like, what the fuck? Holy, who's having their friends listen?
That's the first episode that one of my managers listened to.
Really?
And they were like,
were they horrified?
They were like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the next episode. I'm so excited. I need to know more. Yeah. Okay. I got I figured it out. Oh no, are you okay?
I happily swung my legs and then I swung my toe into the table.
Aw. At least it wasn't a kitten's mouth, though.
That is true.
It's not in a cat's mouth.
Not in a cat's mouth.
Okay. So
he said it's a true crime.
True crime. It's relatable to what had happened in 2017. If you can remember any of the weird crap that happened in 2017. I can't remember if it was was TikTok still a thing? No, it was Vine, I think, back in 2017, right?
I think so, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of viral videos about this in 2017. And 2020 makes us think you know what? I'd rather go back to those days when we just had to worry about that instead of everything else right now.
Killer clowns.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did I get it right?
Mm-hmm.
Did I get it right?
So,
I was...
So my story today. What's about a specific... One of our most prolific serial killers that's also a clown.
Are you doing Monsieur Gacy?
I am.
Are you doing John Wayne Gacy?
I am, if I can find my fucking notes. Honestly, I've been I'm gonna do this story on him. I have so much time. I can finally fucking work and research and shit. I don't research and shit. I literally 2 minutes before we recorded, I took a picture of my screen and look at my notes. There's nothing here. ADHD at its greatest.
It's okay.
But
it averages out.
You know what? As long as you're having a good time and you're chill with me being the way that I am,
I'm all good, my dude.
I'm as long as you love me for who I am, that's all that matters to me.
I love you for who you are. Cheers.
Cheers. I got more tequila.
Woo, 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 woo.
Let me tell you about this motherfucker.
I'm excited because it's terrible.
I hate this man.
He could not paint. Good Lord. His paintings were very bad.
There was also this rumor that he didn't even paint those. Other inmates would paint them, and then he would just sell it off as it was his own. And I'm that's fucked up if that's true. But why are people even glorifying this man and buying that shit or even caring about his art? Fuck that man.
Because they had some at the Museum of Death in LA. Mm-hmm. He painted a lot of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs stuff. I don't know why. Well, that was a cat.
That was a cat.
Hello? That's my sock. Come on.
You sacrificed your socks already. They're gone. They're his. Let me talk about this motherfucker.
Okay, cat. I'm ready.
He was born in Chicago, Illinois, on March 17th, 1942.
Oh, wow.
He was the second of 3 children to a John Wayne Gacy Sr., who was a machinist, and Marion Robinson. They were of Polish. He was of Polish and Danish heritage. And as a lot of people who can maybe relate only to this part, he had a troubled history with his dad. I get it. We all have daddy issues in some way. So his dad was an alcoholic and he abused him and also degraded him, calling him a sissy and shit. I'm please, if that's the worst that you've got from your father, that ain't that bad. Please. I'm not going to go into the things I talk about with my therapist, but you should talk to someone about that if you're dealing with that and you need to get that unlearned in your brain.
Maybe don't go into murder.
Maybe. Instead of going into murder, go into a doctor's office and talk to a therapist.
There we go. PSA, guys.
One that you trust, not just anyone, because some of them are shitty, so you have to do your research and you have to not feel like you have to be with only one therapist. Okay,
y'all, if you do not like a therapist, do not go with whatever one you try on the first try.
It's trial and error, just also with antidepressants
with medication,
all that kind of shit. It's all trial and error.
It takes more than a month.
Exactly. You don't have to just deal with all of these terrible side effects when you could find eventually you'll find something that works for you. Anyways, this is not where I was expecting this to go.
Welcome to our TED Talk.
Hi, I am drunk. Anyways, so, also, one of the things that's most well known about him.
Can we check off the head trauma box?
Yes, exactly. That's where I was
daddy
going.
issues, head
he got
trauma.
The daddy issues. At 11, he got that head trauma.
How did he get his head trauma?
He was struck on the forehead by a swing.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, that shit, like, especially back then, because, like, in the 90s, those swings, like, when they hit you hard.
They were not kind.
No.
Ooh.
And so, like, the thing is, like, they didn't realize that anything was wrong until he was around 16 or something, and he started to black out. Yeah. They realized
50s, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So, like he started to black out, and they're like, what the fuck is going on with you? They, like, check his head. They find out that he has a blood clot. And then they finally, like, take medication to, like, take care of that and dissolve that blood clot.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. I'm like, that shit is crazy. You see your kid get hit in the head. You take care of that kid immediately.
Yeah.
And also get them a therapist immediately. Like, fix that shit before it gets worse.
Look how far we've come.
Okay. And then, going on, he apparently had attended 4 different high schools before he dropped out. He dropped out before completing his senior year.
It's okay, that was the cat chasing the dog. Whew.
My cat also chases my dog a lot too. I get it.
Because Charlie rules the house.
She's alpha. She gets
scary. Guys, no. Charlie's scary.
She's so good.
She's very cute. I love her from afar.
Yeah, love her from afar. Don't get too close. You just can't tell what she's thinking.
You really can't.
I love it. I love it.
She's baby.
She's baby. Anyway, so he left his family to head west, but he ran out of money in Vegas, as one does.
Okay.
So then he had to work to make enough money to go back home to Chicago. And then, so apparently, like, without even going back to high school or something, he just went to college. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I wish I could just, like, do that shit. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, 50s and 60s.
Right? I'm like, excuse me. I wish school was like that. Like, I don't have to deal with, like, high schoolers anymore.
Yeah, that would be true.
I did drop out of high school and just got my GED, so relatable. Anyway, so he enrolled and graduated from Northwestern Business College. And so he then he had like a management trainee position for this company shortly after graduating, and then he was transferred to Springfield, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
And that's where he met his coworker, who was Marilyn Myers, who he married in September of 1964. And then he became really active in the local Springfield organizations, joining the JC, which was like the junior committee.
Jesus Christ?
No. It was the, what's it called? The United States Junior Chambers. So like leadership training and like civic organization stuff.
Oh,
like,
okay.
One of those kind of things, like doing like a bunch of community service and shit for people.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's like one of those things. I don't know how to explain it. He's in like some local committee situation.
I getcha.
Where was I? So he became the vice president of the Springfield chapter by 1965. And then, so his wife's parents had actually purchased a group of KFC franchises. So then he took the job as a manager in one of them and then moved to Waterloo, Iowa to manage that KFC, which is cool. Like, I wish I had someone who'd just be like, I'm going to buy this company so you can manage it. And I'm like, cool. It reminds me of this article I read about this lady who's all like, I paid off like $220,000 of school loans in 3 years or something. or like 22,000. I don't remember. And like her thing was like, my parents bought me a house and that they wanted an auction, and then I rented it out and lived with someone else. So then I made money off of that, and like shit like that. I can't remember the other things, but I'm just like, oh, to have that privilege. Ugh.
What's it taste like?
Right?
It tastes like chicken. So we have ghost farts and
it should just be white privilege.
White privilege.
The caucasity of it all.
The caucasity. White privilege tastes like chicken.
White privilege tastes like chicken.
Hello, welcome to our podcast. We're doing great. Well, I mean, the last the one we just released today was Harold. They're lesbians, and all men do is lie.
You know that I should have done the part 2 for the Columbus.
Oh shit, that's right.
But the thing is, I didn't want that. Like, I was gonna talk about the like what in media has like been influenced by that and what's been like like referenced and things, and I was like, I don't want to do that. Where I don't want to like glorify or talk about the glorification of that terrible moment that's been referenced in so many shows and in different medias. So I was like, fuck it. Like, eventually I'll go back and talk like more about like the victims of it eventually. Like if we ever do like a shorter episode. Yeah.
Because
I was like rethinking about it. Because like we went way into details with that. And I was just like,
It got hard by the end.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. It was a rough one. And I'm like, yeah, like I should finish that. But like I want to redo it where instead of talking about like every single thing and like all the crazy like things that they like had planned out, like eventually I'm gonna go and just like talk about the victims instead of the shooters and like the way that has affected things, because I don't want to give people the idea that like, oh, like we need to do something bigger to like want to be as like because there's a lot of copycats of that, and so
it was bad.
Anyways, that was my tangent away from this stupid clown. The clownery is real in this one.
Just motherfucking clowns on this motherfucking plane.
And, like, after I told you about my like things that I have, like me like flushing that fucking box cutter, like this whole episode is about clowns. Anyways, so the Gacy's. They settle in Waterloo.
The white ass chicken asses.
Right, these KFC chicken asses. They had 2 children, a son and a daughter.
Oh, really?
And so, yeah. Oh. You know why they never hear about it? I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh boy. I'm worried.
So, he worked hard for his job, and still found time to, again, join, like, the JCs in this area, in this chapter. And then, around this time, as he's, like, hanging out with all these people, the rumor comes out.
The rumor came out. Does John Wayne Gacy gay?
does John Wayne Gacy is gay?
Does Bruno Mars is gay?
I fucking love that. I love that meme so much. I'm so glad I showed that to you.
Every time I see it, I think of you. Does the rumor come out?
Does the Okay. So the rumors come out. But it doesn't stop him from being like an outstanding vice president of the Waterloo JCs in 1967. Let's see. Apparently, though, there was like a bunch of shady shit happening over in that chapter already, though, like prostitution and pornography and drugs, which apparently Gacy was also involved in. And I'm like, cool. Like, this is like this is totally what he's into, like being a piece of shit.
Yikes.
Yes. Yikes. Okay. So Gacy, being the nasty boy he is, he was cheating on his wife regularly. And at that same time, he opened a club in his basement for
Wait, I'm sorry.
young boys of Waterloo. Right? It's nasty. I hate it.
I did not know about this.
Yeah. No. He was totally like, hey, boys, come hang out. Let's just chill. Just
no milkshakes included, because
boys.
that's bad.
No, his milkshakes were nasty. They were made with month-old almond milk, and they poisoned you, and then you're out of commission for a week, and then your grandpa gets stabbed, and you're like, what the fuck? John Wayne Gacy, what the fuck?
All this white chicken privilege causes. God. Are you guys
white chicken
following
privilege?
Are you guys following her trail of thought? I hope so. White privilege tastes like chicken.
I need a drink.
Can't wait to edit this one.
So all the fun and games starts crashing down in John Wayne Gacy's life right now.
Ruh-roh raggy.
Because in around 1968, two Waterloo boys, the age of 16 and 15, accused him of sexually assaulting them. Gacy professed his innocence, and it seemed like he was going to be cleared of those charges until August of that year when he hired another boy in Waterloo to beat up one of the accusers. And then that youth was caught and confessed all. So then Gacy was arrested, and then before the year was over and out, he was convicted of sodomy and sentenced to 10 years in the Iowa State Penitentiary.
I can't say degenerative.
Degenerative, I can say, but penitentiary.
Planetarium.
Church.
This is why we have each other. At least one of us could say one.
I got you and you got me.
This is the reunion episode we've been waiting for.
I'm sorry. I'll get to the story. Where was I?
Penitentiary. Planetarium.
He went to the planetarium. Penitentiary. So, pretty much immediately after he was sent to prison, Gacy's wife filed a petition for divorce, which was final in 1969, and then he never saw his children again.
Good for them.
It's really good. They deserve a life away from this man.
Yes.
I hope
they're doing good.
I hope that they're doing good. I hope that they don't feel any sort of not guilt of being related to this man, because they have nothing.
They have nothing to do with that.
They are not related to his terrible crimes.
Nope.
No. Kind of also like with Ted Bundy's daughter. I hope that she's fine. I think about her a lot.
Rose is doing good.
Yeah, I think about her a lot. I don't know why. It's just I'm just the children in those situations. I'm always I just hope that they can live a normal life after
right?
that.
Just be chilling.
Yeah. And then so during his incarceration, Gacy's father died on Christmas Day of 1969, and then he was paroled in 1970 after serving 18 months. So after he was released, he moved back to Illinois to live with his mother, and then he had apparently successfully hid his criminal record until the police began to investigate him for his later murders. So I'm like, that's shifty, but also I wouldn't want to tell my mom that kind of shit either. I'd be
no.
She thinks I'm a good person, so I wouldn't want to disappoint my mother.
That chicken flavor, white privilege.
Sorry,
to be hitting hard.
Right into that. Ugh. Yeah, I'm I wouldn't want to disappoint my mother, but also I wouldn't want
to disappoint your mom. Yeah.
I wouldn't I wouldn't want to like also do that to a person, like especially a kid. That's the worst part about it, is like these are teenage children that were like manipulated and also like coerced into these kind of things. Like, what the fuck?
It's not good.
It's not. So, as he moves back to Chicago, Gacy gets a job as a chef, and then with his mother's help, in 1971, he bought a house in an unincorporated area of Norwood Park Township, which is in Cook County, and it was surrounded by the northwest side Chicago neighborhood of Norwood Park. And the house had a 4-foot deep crawl space under the floor.
What could go wrong?
What? Why would I even have to mention it? Like, why? That he could turn that into a mini basement, you know?
Yeah. I mean, don't you mention all the crawl space, like, diameters of every house we go over?
Right, exactly. Like, why would we need to talk about this? I gotta drink. Okay. February 12th, 1971. Gacy, he was charged with a disorderly conduct because a teenage boy had claimed that Gacy had picked him up and tried to force him into sex. The complaint was dropped when the boy did not appear in court. And then the Iowa Board of People did not learn of this, and Gacy was discharged from parole in October of 1971. On June 22nd, 1972, Gacy was arrested again and charged with battery after another young man said that Gacy flashed a sheriff's badge, lured him into his car, and then forced him into sex. But again, the charges were dropped. It's like the cops can't do their job with like checking these things. It's like they're not legally they legally don't have to do that job of like following up and trying to figure out why there's a pattern. It
smells like chicken. Smells like white privilege.
Smells like bad ham.
Smells like bad ham.
It's white chicken and bad ham. So, 1972. Gacy gets married again to Carol Hoff, who was an acquaintance from his teenage years. Why do people keep doing this in my life? He's not in my life. Anyways.
Guys, we're just really dedicated to this podcast.
Yeah, I'm all like, I'm a little too drunk that I just said that out loud onto the mic.
It's okay. I love finding out what we say, and then I cut stuff out, and I never remember what I keep in.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm just all like, I know a lot of people who were married, like their like ex-high school sweetheart or like someone they knew in high school, and I'm like, but it's been 20 years. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you guys just started talking like 6 months after you got divorced. Like, why are you getting remarried like in less than 6 months after starting talking? Like, what is wrong?
What is wrong?
Anyways, it's not like they're like the least liked person in the family or anything. I mean, I don't know. This is going to be cut out anyways. Like, let's not worry about this. I don't think my family listens to this podcast anyway. So, where was I?
Gacy,
he gets remarried. That's right.
There we go.
Like people. I know. Okay. So, she had 2 daughters already, and they move into the Summerdale Avenue house. And then in 1975, Gacy starts his own business where it's called PDM Contractors, which is a construction company. At the same time, his marriage begins to deteriorate. I wonder why. What could be going on if your husband's been arrested for sodomy and has been accused of raping and sexually assaulting 2 other teenage boys? Like, what could be going on?
What could it be?
What could it be? the Gacy sex life apparently came to a halt, and John Gacy would go out late and stay out all night. Gacy found wallets with IDs from young men lying around, and then John Gacy began bringing gay pornography into the house, so they got divorced in March of 1976. Why? Okay. I'm like, I don't condone cheating.
No cheating allowed.
Like, I'm totally for open, loving relationships where there's all about honesty and communication.
Y'all
and
communicate.
Consent.
If everyone's okay, genuinely okay, it's all good.
Yeah. And then when you have your hard limits, you have to talk and compromise and figure out if this is worth it. Like if you're going to still be happy in this situation, but like lying, like also pornography, I also think is like it's a weird gray area of like you have to be very consensual with someone about it. But like if they don't like it, like you have to respect that they see that as cheating too.
Mm-hmm.
You got to talk. You got to communicate. You got to be honest. Some people, they're like, it's just pornography. Like, you're not doing anything with it. Like, you're not with someone else. Like, it's fine. But some other people are like, I don't like you looking at someone else. I don't like you doing that. Like, it makes me uncomfortable.
Y'all gotta communicate.
Exactly. Communicate. Talk. Healthy relationships are all about communicating.
Welcome to our TED Talk.
Therapist kept saying. And look at me. I only talk when I'm 3 shots in, apparently.
Woo, 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 woo.
Because I'm a lightweight. It's cheap. So.
I feel.
So Gacy, he becomes active in the local Democratic Party. So Ted Bundy was a Republican. Gacy was a Democrat. The more you know.
The more you know.
It's like the government's full of terrible people. Not the government. The government is full of terrible people, but like terrible people are on all sides. You just have to understand that.
Just gotta understand that. I get you.
Like, you just gotta believe in human rights. And Gacy doesn't believe in consent, and I don't like that.
Boo.
Boo this man.
Boo this man.
Around 1975 and 76, he served on the Norwood Park Township Street Lighting Committee. He eventually earned the title of precinct captain. In this capacity, he had met and was photographed with the First Lady, Rosalind Carter, who was in town for the annual Polish Constitution Day parade. Is that the right word? Yeah, Constitution. Held on May 6th of 1978. How weird is that?
Huh. Okay.
So Gacy was directing the parade that year for the 3rd year in a row. And then Carter had posed with a picture with Gacy and autographed the photo to John Gacy. Best wishes, Rosalind Carter. Oof, my God, that shit feels.
Oh, can you imagine that?
Right? You're like, ooh, I was with a serial killer.
That would be rough, though.
He wasn't a serial killer at the time, but like he was a known sexual
predator. Yeah.
I was going to say assaulter, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. Sexual predator. That makes worse.
Biological and assaulter. And degenerative. And penitentiary.
Planetariums.
We can't pronounce our words.
Words are hard.
Welcome to Tipsy Mysteries.
Right? So.
Okay.
In the picture, Gacy is wearing an S-pin, which was indicating a person who has received special clearance by the United States Secret Services. So, ironically, while they were searching Gacy's house after his arrest, this photo was kind of like a big embarrassment to the social services. Because also, I feel like you would do like background checks on these people, and you'd be like, this man's been in jail for sodomizing little boys.
Maybe we shouldn't do that.
Maybe we shouldn't give him clearance.
Just a thought.
Yeah, maybe. So, before he had met the First Lady, in July of 1975, one of Gacy's employees Oh, I should have thought about this. John Butkovich?
How do you spell it?
Butkovich.
Buktovich?
Butkovich.
I think.
I'm sorry, John.
We are sorry.
I'm sorry, John. I didn't do my research.
We genuinely apologize.
I am also so sorry. Anyways, so he had left Gacy's like the job after an argument over back pay that Bukovic was owed. Like he wasn't getting his money, and
because he was like hiring these guys as like handymen, right, or something, or like odd job kind of thing.
Yeah, because like with his construction company, he was. So John's parents, or Bukovic's parents, they urged the police to check out Gacy, but nothing came of it, and the young man's disappearance had went unsolved for a long time.
Maybe listen to the parents. I don't know.
Or maybe the ham needs to get checked.
This ham's gone rotten.
This ham's been rotten.
That chicken don't look too good either.
I'm like, when the pig is sick, you shouldn't make ham out of it.
Don't eat the chicken.
I'm like, are we going on like a vegetarian, pescatarian diet right now, or are we going vegan? Is that?
I like salmon. Can I still eat salmon? I want to be pescatarian. I fucking love it. Guys, salmon's my favorite food. I love salmon.
I'm like, we're going pescatarian this episode. Okay. December of 1976, another of Gacy's employee, Gregory Godzik, disappeared, and his parents had asked the police to investigate Gacy.
So two people, like...
More than two people in this time have already been like, yo, this man is doing things, is uncomfortable.
At this
point... Right. His parents had asked to investigate Gacy because he was one of the last people known to have spoken to the boy. In neither case did the police pursue Gacy, nor did they discover his criminal record. How many times I gotta say the pork is bad? The ham is bad.
The ham
going kosher.
You ain't kosher, bitch.
I'm going kosher after this. No more bacon for me.
Okay, so ghost farts and
going kosher.
Going kosher. There we go. Cheers.
Cheers. January 1977. John.
Me too, buddy.
SZYC.
SC?
Z as in zebra.
SZYC?
Yeah.
Spell it one more time.
S as in Sam. Z as in zebra. Y as in yellow. C as in Charlie. Sick?
Maybe sick, I think.
Sick. I'm like, if I ever change my name, I'm going to change it to Sick, spelled like that.
That's pretty sick spelling. It's pretty
Chick.
Maybe sick or chic.
Chic.
I think those sound like the most educated guesses. If we are wrong, I am so sorry.
I'm sorry, John. You're the third John in this story.
Is this the third John?
I can't get the fourth one because there's John Wayne Gacy Sr. And you're the second one with the last name that I can't pronounce because
I
am a terrible person. And I was all worried about saying Illinois. What the fuck? So he was an acquaintance of Bukovich, Godzik, and Gacy, and he disappeared. Then later that year, another of Gacy's employees was arrested for stealing gasoline from a station, and the car he was driving had belonged to Zick. And then Gacy said that Zick had sold the car to him before leaving town, and the police failed to pursue the matter further. It's like the FBI agent that's watching me through my webcam is like, stop saying the ham is bad.
Sorry, guys.
FBI agent.
Like the Wi-Fi just like completely went out. I don't think I've seen it do that before. That was weird.
That was weird.
It was like session like disconnected.
Yeah, especially after I was like, the police failed to pursue this again. So I'm gonna restart that one.
I think
FBI, let me finish recording my podcast, please. I am not saying I'm gonna murder anyone like I had in the past. Except I didn't, because it was a joke. And as in theory, I have a lot of the same personality traits as a lot of those traits that people say that are in serial killers, but that's not me, because I have a conscience and I'm nice.
You're nice, swear. Exactly.
I swear.
I'll vouch for V.
And then like my leads are gonna be like, V, I don't believe you. I don't trust you. And I'm like,
attention, all of these leads. She is the coolest cat ever. Give her a raise.
I'm sorry that I broke the toilets at work, but
give her a raise immediately and effectively. Thank you.
Okay, so let me just restart that. So in January 1977, John Sheik, he was an acquaintance of Butkovich, Godzik, and Gacy, and he had disappeared. So then later that year, another of Gacy's employees was arrested for stealing gasoline from a station. And so the car that he was driving had actually belonged to Zeke. And Gacy had said that Zeke had sold the car to him before leaving town. So the police had failed to pursue that any further.
Yikes. How many crumbs until you get a cookie? Three? Were there like hitchhikers that he picked up, or people that were listed as runaways? Mm-hmm. Great. Just stay in my spare bedroom. No! Jesus Christ. Save me. That's, did this not tip him off? True. Still drunk in a clown costume. That feels like it's pushing it. Yeah. It's not really great. Mm-mm. Oh shit. Finally. Mm-hmm. This is a interesting. I see a pattern and I hate it. Huh. Crazy what a little background check does. It will be history. Just put a pin in it. Just put a pin in it. So, you know. Aww. December 13th? Rutro. What could it be? Could it be? Do you not store cabbage in your crawl space? Don't we all? Yeah, beautiful. Book. That sounds right. Yeah. Who could have guessed? His name's Gary now. Didn't he like invite the police in his home to like have dinner and shit? Like I remember him being like, and they're like, "Nah, it stinks in here, dude." First a walkthrough kind of thing. Like he enjoyed the attention very much so. One day, I believe in you. Shit. Remember episode that just released when you told me about the sex worker's head that was found in the fridge? Yeah. To make it pretty again? Yeah. Yeah. I have no words. Yeah, Doug Clark. Doug Clark, yeah. Doug Dimmadome and Troy Bolton. That's right. Cherries are the best. Like maraschino cherries. Fucking love those. Love those more than necrophilia. Don't we all? Don't we all? Hopefully. What happened? Guys, V goes through so much. Ouch! Remember when I got wine in my eye? Like so long ago? Jesus Christ. So I feel your pain. It hurts. Not fun. So fun. So so please. Ah! Mm-hmm. 29. 29? How do you fit 29 bodies? Like, that's just oofta. No! Jesus Christ. What? It was 8 of them that were never identified? Oh my God. So did he run out of room at his place? I know this is an audio show, but I have no words. Okay, okay. That's why he like professionally works as a clown, right? Pogo, Pogo, Pogo. Mm-hmm. That do be bad. Fair. Fair. Childcare is a lot of work, so. Yikes. Uh, he drew a diagram because he ran out of space in his house. I wholeheartedly agree. I think it just took my brain a second to like process that correctly. The power, though. I think yeah, you really, yep. You're bringing this point home. This guy was the fucking worst. Buddy. No. 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 Good. This feels like the goddamn Twinkie defense all over again. Welcome to our podcast. I'm sorry. This motherfucking clown on this motherfucking plane. So good. Can I curse this ass out through the Ouija board? No, not again. My sister did it. Rude ass. Asphyxiation. Asphyxiation? Yeah, I understand. Oh, fuck. You know, you just accidentally murdered 31 people. Wait, how many people was it? It was. Can't do it. So it was 31, 34 people? 33. Threw the other bodies to the river. Good. Woo. Didn't have. You just want that last taste of white privilege. Penitentiary? Planetarium. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. Sounds like they were having a fucking rager. Love that. Hope they're having a party. Woo, 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 woo. Love that. Rotten hell, buddy. Damn. Where's our heart? Anesthesiologists? Oh, good to know. That's true. I know. Boo. That is a weird flex, though, to like have a dinner party and be like, "Oh, what's new?" Well, just over in the corner, got John Wayne Gacy's brain. That's a recent to the collection. It's a little fun thing. That's why we're best friends. I'm telling you, one day, please write your biography. It's one day. It's so good. Oh, that was not oil. That was shitty acrylic. They were bad. They were not good. What the fuck? Really? I'm gonna look this up real fast because I did not know this. Uh, that's right. Yeah, was it like the father of one of the victims? Kind of like was getting it, which I like that. You feel? Yeah. Well, you said he painted Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein. Let's see. No, no. God, he was. Nixon can go rot in hell. So I what made them want to sign this? Good. Yeah, he was not a good artist. Mm-hmm. I would believe it. What? Holy shit. Sorry, really fast. This Elvis painting he did. That okay, continue. That's what I was thinking. Continue. Big mood. Big mood. Whew. Wowie zowie. The piece of shit. You did such a good job though, dude. I loved all the fun facts. Wikipedia. It's part of the charm of our podcast. Like I changed master. And here we are. Woo! We're doing great. We're doing good. Diddly diddly doo doo doo. Boop. Fun stuff. Oh, do you have a fun song recommendation request? Wreck. I think the one we just released today, your recommendation was Wannabe by Itzy, I think. Ooh la la. You right. Is that your wreck of the week? I was wondering, I'm like, Becky. Who's Becky? We love Becky G in this house. I I did sword lesbian because of She-Ra. Okay, see, I am sword lesbian. I have my sticker on my water bottle. Sword lesbian. So CC said Inception by 80s. I'm gonna do. Oh fuck! No, my scrunchie broke. I didn't know that could happen. Did you? I can make a new one. You're right. Let's see. My song is gonna be "You Spin Me Round" by Dead or Alive. That's such a bop. I love that one. I love that one. It's so good. Do be a bop. Do be a bop. Do you have any parting words of advice? Guys, don't. It looked really good. So there you go. Don't pull your scrunchies because they will snap. Go to therapy. Don't rob tombs. Don't steal from them. Just don't do that. Go to therapy though. That we do mean that. We do mean that. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do it. Yeah. Beautiful. Nicely said. Woo 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 woo. Stan BTS. There we go. Boom. Talk to me about Prince. Boom. There we go. There we go. All right. I think that's it from us. Yeah. Welcome back to Gay Kids on the Block. Yeah. See. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.